my dollars make it hurt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome once again to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard everywhere right now on the Big Time Show Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as on the Sports Empire Network Facebook and YouTube pages. On Podbean Live right now for those that will be listening to this replay on Spotify, on Pandora, on Google Podcasts, on LinkedIn, iHeartRadio. Welcome to the show. Appreciate a little bit of your time tonight as the world pretty much right now is getting ready for the home run derby, but that's going to be very exciting. But it's Monday night. It's 7 o'clock, and no matter what is going on, the Big Time Show podcast shows up. We're here tonight. Got a very important question. I'm going to need those that are watching that will participate, because you truly will make the show, because I don't want this show today to be about my opinion only. I don't need that. I need your input on tonight, just so that we as a family can talk, of course, about the Cowboys as we enter, as we pretty much enter the 2023 season. We're almost here. Training camp is literally right around the corner. We are about to get ready for a dynamic year, I believe. So much so that I'm saying it and not saying it to be a homer, but I'm saying it because I truly believe that we have a chance to do something this year, for real. Once you look at it, once you see the team, once you see the coaching staff, once you see and building off of the year that we just had last year and the previous year, you cannot help but think that something is getting ready to happen for this team. And I believe it is. Now, I'm not going to define what that is. I don't even want to go that route. I just think that we got a chance to make some real noise this year. I really do. I really believe that we got a real shot to make some real noise. Now, the scary thing is when it comes to this season, and this applies to every team, because training camp always produces injuries. It's no other way to look at it. You can't avoid it. It is what it is. It's going to happen. It's going to be some key players that are going to get hurt. Hopefully not for the year, but we're going to have some injuries. What's up, Coach? I see you. Thank you for the chat there. We're going to have some injuries. Now, before I go with that, if you're on the Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, the Big Time Show, or my personal Facebook page, if you want to contribute to the broadcast, you can by using those stars, the star program there. Whatever you don't, it's all right. If you're on the Big Time Show YouTube page, you can go ahead and use the super chats that are right there. The way that I do it, if I see you super chat, and I will stop in the middle of whatever I'm talking about and read your chat, and I'll go with it from there. Now, let me get back to it. Injuries are going to happen. It's going to happen. And usually a lot of them happen in the preseason arena, if you want to say it like that, during this time. And when the training camp begins, as well as the preseason games itself. Usually there's some problems. This is the time when ACLs are torn. This is when hamstrings are pulled. This is where you lose guys for 4 to 5 weeks before the season even gets started, because the body has to get back used to, this type of environment. And it dawned on me a question, and that's the question I want to pose tonight, to you tonight, for those that will participate. I have my list, but I want to know, who are the most important Cowboys in 2023? That's what I need to know. In your opinion, who are the most important Cowboys? Hey, Mrs. Opiong on Podbean, I see you. I appreciate you popping in on me. Thank you so much. I want to know, who do you believe are the most important Cowboys coming into 2023? And I hope that the Cowboy family will pretty much, I take the Cowboy haters, but I don't really want to hear from y'all. I don't need the ridiculous unbiasedness. I guess you could say that I'm being biased. Not really, because I really want to know, who do you think we can't. Let me pose it this way. Let's pose it this way. Who can we not afford to lose in order to make this season special? Please don't tell me define special, because I'm saying, I'll go on record and say the Cowboys are going to the playoffs. I'll say that. Beyond that, I can't say nothing. I just know the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. Unless there is a key injury to certain players. I'll go ahead and start it off. I believe number one, and really I could just stop here and do the whole show about my number one. Because see, and this really ain't to all the haters of the Cowboys, because I can't really just say anything to you. But I will say this to the haters of the Cowboys, is that there's a lot of the Cowboy family that has the same opinion as the hater of the Cowboys do. And that is in the area of Dak Prescott. Hey, Jory, in the area or the mention of Dak Prescott, not worried about the haters. I'm talking about the family. As much as y'all despise and disrespect, I'm talking to the Cowboy family now. As much as you guys, or some of you that despise and disrespect Dak Prescott, you know, as well as I know, that we cannot afford to lose Dak Prescott at all. That would be the difference between a 12-14 to maybe about a 8 or 9 game winning wins for the season. Is that crucial? If then. And see, I'm amazed by the popularity last year of Cooper Rush and the illusion of saying that Cooper Rush is on the same level as Dak Prescott. There's a lot of y'all, and some of y'all gonna watch this later. I'm talking to you. All these Cowboy groups I'm in, some of you really believe that Cooper Rush is on the same level as Dak Prescott. Some of y'all believe it. Some of y'all believe that he can come right in and win 12 games for you, just like Dak Prescott did. I mean, he was a part where Dak didn't win 12 last year. Cooper won 5 games last year. He did. You know, you can't knock him for it. He did a good job of game managing. Didn't make incredible mistakes. He did a great job. He did what a backup quarterback, game managing quarterback is supposed to do. That's why you got him, and we have him now. James, what's up? This guy, a lot of people, a lot of Cowboy fans believe that Cooper Rush is on the same level as Dak Prescott. Highly disrespectful. Highly crazy. And that, I tell you what, as much as some of my Cowboy brothers and sisters, I ain't worried about the haters. I ain't worried about them. I'm talking about the Cowboy fans who believe that completely is raggedy. You know just as well as I know that you cannot afford to lose Dak Prescott in 2023. Why? It's very simple. Dak Prescott gives us the best chance to win. Bottom line. And yes, that's above Cooper Rush. I don't even know why I'm even mentioning this at all, but I will. It shouldn't even be a discussion. But in Cowboy land, it is. It really is. There are some that really believe that Cooper Rush is on Dak Prescott's level. And he is not. What's up, Terry? We can't afford to lose Dak Prescott this season. There aren't, and watch this, y'all. There aren't a lot of guys on this team who you can definitely say that they're on what I feel is Dak Prescott's level as far as being available to the team. See, it used to be a time when we said we can't make it if Tyron Smith doesn't play. Well, we done had enough practice without Tyron Smith to know that we can make it. So he's not even on my list no more. You see what I'm saying? We can't afford. As much as you don't like Dak, as much as you don't like him, I'm talking to the Cowboy family. As much as you don't like him, you cannot afford to lose Dak Prescott. There is no way that the Dallas Cowboys can make it without Dak Prescott. He's on that kind of level now. I ain't saying he's a first team all-pro level. I ain't saying that. I'm saying for this team, we cannot afford to lose Dak Prescott. Therefore, I'm saying, number one, Dak Prescott is the most important Dallas Cowboy on the roster. The old saying is that if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. I didn't say a backup quarterback. Cooper Rush did a great job game managing. I don't want to seem like I'm just knocking Cooper because Cooper did well for what he was asked to do. He didn't have no gigantic numbers. The thing that stood out about Cooper Rush is that he did not make the fatal mistakes. A lot of games he made timely throws, big throws. It was just that simple. But he is not a guy that you can say we're going into 17 weeks and we believe this guy gonna carry us to the promised land. And I get it, because there's some of you that's going to say, well, we're going to say the same thing about Dak Prescott. He can't get us to the promised land either. Okay, I'm going to let you have that, because we got too much of a sample size for me not even debate that. But what I am saying is Dak Prescott is going to get you closer to the promised land than Cooper Rush will. Yeah, I said it. He's the most important Dallas Cowboy on this team. He is. No matter what you say, no matter what, no, you want Dak on the center as much as possible. He's the most important Cowboy heading into 2023. Second on my list. Second. And I guess I'm going offense and defense. I'm going to go, this is going to sound crazy, y'all. This is going to sound crazy. But let me tell you who I think is, I ain't going to say, well, this is offense and defense. I'll just stick with the offensive side. I hate to leave. Dak Prescott, number one, most important Cowboy in 2023. Here's number two. Number two. Appreciate you, Shane. Thank you for popping in, bro. Here's number two. Tyler Smith. I'm going offensive side of the ball. Tyler Smith, not Tyron Smith. Tyler Smith. This is the second-year pro. Guy who we drafted last year as a tackle, played guard, played tackle. What's up, Kyle? Thank you, brother. Tyler Smith, number two. Here's my reasoning. Notice I ain't say Zach Martin. I said Tyler Smith. Because Tyler Smith of what he can do. Because he can play left guard or left tackle. And because we are dealing with Tyron Smith, the older Smith, he becomes that more important, because me personally, I'm not banking on Tyron Smith to last. And wherever he falls out of, Tyler Smith will go probably where he left and play at a Pro Bowl level. There's a serious argument that can be made that last year that Tyler Smith should have made the Pro Bowl in his rookie year. There's a serious argument that can be made. I believe he will be in the Pro Bowl this year. I believe that he will be borderline All-Pro. I ain't say first team. I'm going maybe second team. He's that good. He is now, well, he's not. Zach Martin is the most important lineman. I mean, he's our best lineman, no doubt. But Tyler is the most important because of his flexibility. I just leave it at that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Terry. I'm serious. I believe that Tyler Smith is that important to us. It's not Tyron. We done seen enough, too many games without him to know that we can make it without him. We've even missed some games with Zach Martin, and we were okay. Terrence Steele, we've lost him, and we still were okay. I ain't saying the replacements were as good as they were, but we made it. I don't think that we'll be as good at all, offensive line, if Tyler Smith go down. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to be that big of a drop. And because of that, I say that he is number two on my list offensively as the most important Cowboy on the team. Number three, Tony Pollard. The reason why is obvious. Because he is the straw that stirs the whole drink. If you want to get something, if you want to get something popping on offense, you have Tony Pollard in the backfield. He can get you so many ways. Passing game, running the ball, used as a disguise. He can line up everywhere, including the slot. This guy is just that important. And to prove my point, I'm not trying to throw jabs, but let's just tell the truth. We saw, as Cowboy fans, the difference in the offense between when Zeke Elliott was in and when Tony Pollard was in. Zeke Elliott was in, the offense was more stagnated, more predictable. Tony Pollard, you don't know what's going to happen. If you stack the box with Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb will destroy you. And last year, Dalton Schultz would destroy you. If you only played without stacking the box, then Tony Pollard would kill you. It's just that simple. He is beyond, and it's going to be very important. I believe he is the one that really is going to get the offensive, flow really started. They always say the running game sets up all that, but Tony is just a little, he's different. Speed is elite. Runs the ball extremely well, as we all know. And he's not going to be a primary 20 to 20, 22 to 25 carries a game. That's not going to happen with him. I would not be surprised if he carries the ball about the same amount that he did last year. Somewhere between 14 to 16 times a game. But where he's going to get you at is in the passing game. That's what he presents. And I believe that he'll be the third most important guy on this offense, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's just about common sense, which leads to number 4. And some of my stuff is not going to be what you think it is. I'm looking at it from a defensive mindset. Like if I'm going against the Cowboys, who do I have to stop? Number 1. Number 2, who do I really have to, from the wide receiver position, who do I really have to double? Which leads to number 4. Brandon Cooks. And I'm not saying that Brandon Cooks obviously is better than CeeDee Lamb. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying from this position that because of his speed that he has, elite speed, and he is a legitimate threat in catching the football. He's had a couple 1,000-yard receiving yard years. He has been elite like that. He blows a top off of a defense. He also, depending on who the defense is, he does demand a double team. And if you go single with him, he is going to make you pay. We done seen it. His resume says that. Go back if you don't believe it. Pull up YouTube. Go watch him play with the Houston Texans with a quarterback that nobody even know. Don't even know his name. Or go watch him in New Orleans when he was playing with people and had Drew Brees as a quarterback. Just pull it up, watch, and you will see him jump off the game tape. Obviously. because he was that dangerous. I'm saying he's number 4 because of what he's going to do as far as opening up the offense just because of the way he runs. I'm saying that he's going to open it up for CeeDee Lamb. If you choose the double team CeeDee Lamb, that means you're going to single up with Cooks and probably Gallup and whoever our tight end is going to be, which is probably Jake Ferguson. But you're going to open it up there. And Dak Prescott is going to pick and little dip and dab and going to kill you that way if you do CD like that. If you double team Brandon Cooks or you got special coverage on him, then guess what's going to happen? You're making the decision now to go single on CeeDee Lamb. Unless, of course, you're playing the cover 2 concept where you got the 2 safeties covered for both hashes and do it like that. But if you're playing zone, that could kill you that way. So you got to really pick your poison here. You got to really pick your poison. And so I'm saying contrary, I'm not talking skill set wise. I'm not talking who's better. CeeDee Lamb is better than Brandon Cooks. But I'm saying because of what he brings to the table as far as as far as what he brings to the offense, even just his presence on the field, I'm saying he's number 4 on my list. Offensively, that is. Again, you guys, if you're on Facebook, you can use the stars. If you're on YouTube, the Big Time Show YouTube page, you can use those super chats there. Whenever you put something down, because once I get in the flow, I really ain't looking in the comment section. But if you put it in the super chat, it's gonna pop up on my screen, and I'll stop doing what I'm doing to read your comments. So let me try to get my flow going. But I'll look right here. Let me see. What's up, Dylan? I see you say, is this our year? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that Cowboys will make the playoffs. I'm saying that we got a real good shot to make a lot of noise this year. I believe that we will. I ain't saying Super Bowl or nothing like that. I think we'll be in the dance, though. And everybody knows once you get in the dance, anything can happen. So that's what I am saying. Everybody be disappointed if the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. So I'm guaranteeing that. So if you ask me that, is this my year? Yeah, to make the playoffs, yeah. I ain't going past that at all. I learned my lesson a long time ago about saying what the Cowboys were doing. Long time. But we are going to the playoffs this year. I'm saying that. I even say this, Dylan. How about this one? Since you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, the Fly Eagles Fly game. I say this. The Dallas Cowboys will win the NFC East this year. How about that one? Yeah, I'm saying that. The Eagles can only fly so high. Yeah. Gonna clip them wings this year. You're gonna need, the only way y'all gonna win, I got a super chat. Look, I don't even want to read. I'm going to read this just because Podbean is on and they can't see it. Eastside Harold, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, go Texans, Astros, and Rockies, the real teams in Texas. Back to what I was saying. I promised that I would read the super chat, so there you go. So, the Eagles, Dylan, the Eagles will need another 14-win season to shut down the Cowboys this year, because we're going to win at least 11. 11 might get us, 11 to 12 wins this year might get us the NFC East this year. So there's my prediction. The Cowboys, Gene, you here too. Okay. So I'm not saying Super Bowl for us, but I really believe that we're going, and I'll tell you why. Philly, Gene said, let me see what Gene said. If y'all win 11, we need to win 11 or 12, not 14. I got it. I understand. I'm just saying Philly will not be as potent as they were last year. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that the Cowboys have gotten more potent than they were last year. There's a difference between Noah Brown and Brandon Cooks. Hello. That's a big difference. You know? There's a big difference between a healthy Michael Gallup than a 60% Michael Gallup. There's a big difference if Pollard is healthy, which he is, and he gets a whole season, if he can last, there's a big difference. Yeah. Let me say this about it, since we going there. Gene, we might need to save this. We also did. I ain't got there yet. This whole Gene, we gonna have to save all this for potentially our little show that we got going. But I bite the apple for you right here. Okay. Let's go with your defense, which I just don't quite. I believe in Mr. Reddick. He's incredible. I believe in Slay. I ain't just so sold on Bradbury. Dak Prescott ain't never had a problem. When he's with the Giants, we ain't had no problem out of Bradbury. I ain't never been scared of Bradbury. I realize at the same time I think he was a Pro Bowler last year, and I know what Pro Football Focus says about this, but he don't scare me. Slay really don't scare me. We can eat y'all. We put 30 up on y'all. What's up? I mean, y'all defense was there last year. Dak lit y'all up. So hey, I got a super chat here. Let me get to this real quick. Lee says, I'm going to think outside the block and replace the field goal kicker in my top 5 most important players. That's not a bad thought to leave. I'm not even going to knock you. Number one, we got to find out who he is, the kicker. You see what I'm saying? They just signed the kid from the USFL. We talked about that the last show. We just going to have to find out. They got it's Serenio, the guy who kicked in training camp. He was there as well. So that's going to be a big battle there. And don't rule out, to leave, that there are a couple guys that are sitting on the couch who I'm shocked that are not there. And I mean, not on the roster. And that's Mason Crosby and Robbie Gould. I don't understand why they're on the sideline. I don't understand why the Cowboys have not made the call for one of those guys. I don't want, God bless a young man from the USFL. Okay, good and dandy. But, I don't want the cheap way out. When you're all in for 1 year or you're trying to do something special, you don't need to be great on defense, pretty good on offense. Then when you get to the special team unit, you're saying like, we hoping that the kicker is good. We ain't got time for hopes. We need some security here. We need some guarantees. I need to know who my kicker is. I need to know what he can do. I ain't got time for, experimenting with guys just because they cheap, which is what the USFL guy was. I don't know nothing about him when the pressure's on the line. I know what Mason Crosby can do. I know what Robbie Gould can do. I know what they are about. We've seen them. I ain't got time for the experiment. So, let's go back. The Eagles, however, to go back to Gene and Dylan, Hargrave is gone. That's a huge one. That's a huge loss. And please don't tell me nothing about what y'all got out of the draft. They are not Hargraves. Bottom line. It's just the truth. I see you, Keith. I don't care who you drafted out. And let me say this about you guys, what you got out the draft. This ain't the SEC no more, okay? What happened at Georgia, and you're not playing Vanderbilt. And my nephew played at Vanderbilt, but there's a big difference between Georgia and Vanderbilt. We all know. It's not the SEC. It's the NFL. And I don't care what rookie y'all got. Or was it Carter? I don't care who it is. They are not Hargraves. So that's a loss. That's a loss. It's no question about that. That's a loss. I give respect to the offensive line that the Philadelphia Eagles have. They're back intact. That's going to be a good one. No doubt. They're going to run the football. No doubt. And let me say this about your running back. Mr. Swift is there. Let me say something about him. Can he make it for the whole season? I ain't just really just impressed by him. I'm not all that impressed by Swift. Talking a good game, but I ain't just impressed by him. He got to show me. I'll say that. Okay? Now, let me get back. So, again, Brandon Cooks. Not because he's better than CeeDee Lamb. It's just what he brings to the table and what you have to worry about as a defensive coordinator when a guy like Brandon Cooks is on the field. He changes everything. He changes coverage. He changes who you're going to double. He changes if you're going to be sneaking safeties up. That's what Brandon Cooks brings to this team. It's just what the ball ain't got to go his way. A defensive coordinator is going to know where he is, and they're going to make the adjustments because they don't want to get beat with his speed. That's everywhere. That's been in existence for a long time. You're not going to let Brandon Cooks go man on man. I'm just saying. You're not going to do that. If you go one-on-one with Brandon Cooks, he's going to eat you alive. Seriously. He's going to eat you alive. Same thing with CD. You can't go one-on-one with CD. You can't do that. But now you got two guys on the field that you just can't go one-on-one with too much now. There's going to be some time where you're going to have to do that because you want to play man. But you're not going to go, have a lot of games where you're going to have one-on-one with CD and Brandon Cooks out there on the field. That's dangerous. And because of Brandon Cooks being there, this is what you're going to have to do. And so I think he's number 4 on offense. If I was go to a 5th one, I'm going to go with Jake Ferguson. And the reason why I'm saying Jake Ferguson is because it's too much of an unknown. We know he can catch the ball. We know he can play. But he ain't never had this spotlight before, where he becomes the number 1 tight end in the room and will primarily get most of the snaps. Can he block the way that a tight end should? Can he block? That's really my only question, because I know he can catch the ball. I know he can run routes. I know he's a red zone threat. I know he can catch the football. But can he block? If he can't block, you start seeing some of these ends, some of these real go-getters. That's why he need to get baptized early in training camp. What I mean by that is he needs to be going against Michael Parsons. He needs to be going against DeMarcus Lawrence. He needs to be going against Sam Williams every day in practice. Because that's how you're going to find out. See, those 3 names I just called out right there. That's how you find out. You put those guys on Jake Ferguson, and let's put him on the island and let's see how well he does. See, the Cowboys have an advantage that most teams don't have. And I'm not being braggadocious. I'm just saying I'm calling it like it is. If you want to find out if you are a good tight end or not, line up DeMarcus Lawrence, line up your tight end against Parsons, against Sam Williams. I don't need nobody else. If you want to throw in Dorrance Armstrong with it, so be it. Line your tight end up against those guys in training camp. See, a lot of these questions can be answered real quick. Real quick. Line up these guys as defensive ends. They can run a 4.3 40, which is what Sam Williams can do, which is what Michael Parsons can do. DeMarcus Lawrence can beat you outside and inside. Line them up against this tight end, and let's see what he got. And that'll answer a lot of questions. See what I'm saying? This is what I don't know yet. I don't even know if he's as good as Dalton Schultz was. And Dalton Schultz wasn't known as a great blocker, but he could block. But he wasn't as great. He got whipped on a lot of stuff too. But we don't know if Jake is even better than Dalton Schultz. We don't even know that. Right now, I would say no. I know what Dalton Schultz gonna do. Dalton Schultz gonna get you at least 8 to 900 yards in the season. He's gonna catch the ball at least 75 times. He's gonna get you at least 6 to 7 touchdowns a year. That's what Dalton Schultz brings to the table. At least with us, he did. So I know what he brings. I don't know if Jake is that guy yet. I ain't seen it, so I don't know. And I believe he's gonna be our starter, and I believe he's just gonna get most of the snaps. So that's why I'm saying he's number 5. And that's just with question marks. I hope he does. Sure, yeah. You're right, Tavis. I see you. My brother here, Tavis, the Keystone Cowboy. What's going on? You're exactly right. He was an option route. I believe that's gonna be in the offense too, Tavis, though. You know, they try and talk down the option route. With the tight end, Dak throws that stuff pretty good. That little option route to the tight end, short, quick, you know, that's what he like. So that's my top 5 on offense. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball. Who are the most important Cowboys on defense? Now remember now, I'm not giving you the obvious stuff. Some of them I will call out. But I'm not giving you the obvious stuff. Number 1. And I'm gonna do this one because this is my show, so I can do it the way I want to do it. So I'm gonna say number 1 is this. And I'm gonna put 2 guys in as number 1. These are the most important Cowboys on defense. Number 1, yes, number 1. Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie Smith. That's number 1. And for obvious reasons. If we can't stop the run this year, then we ain't going too far. Those 2 guys there, and I'm not even saying OC because I don't even want to go that route because I've seen OC and I know what he is. And I'm not saying Gallimore or Quentin Bohanna. I'm not even going that route because I've seen them. And they, to be honest with you, they really didn't get the job done. Not the way that we're thinking that we need to stop the run. We've seen that. But the consensus is because of the way that we played with Jonathan Hankins last year before he got injured. We were a better run defensive team against the run. We were better against the run with Hankins there. Mozzie Smith has a lot of stuff on him as far as expectations go. If he can meet those expectations, this defense is going to be a very, you know what I've said already. I'm saying they'll be a top 5 defense this year, which is great. If Mozzie Smith and Jonathan Hankins do what I think they can do, I'm going to go ahead and bump them up to maybe a top 2 defense this year. We got to, with those 2 guys, they got to step up from the get-go. There needs to be a message sent that you cannot run against the Dallas Cowboys. Those 2 guys there are going to be a big reason why. Those 2 guys, Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith. I really believe those are the 2 most, well, that's my number 1, our defensive tackles. And I'm particularly talking about Hankins and Smith. They have got to do it. And can they do it? Hankins can. I can't give credit to Mozzie Smith yet. Hello, cool. I can't give credit to Mozzie Smith yet. I can't give them that. I can't give them that. This defense have a chance to really be special this year, building off last year, and with the acquisitions that we have added to this defense. There's no reason why the Dallas Cowboys defense should be ranked in the top 5 this year. All the sacks we had last year, all the turnovers we had, you got better on defense. There's no way that this defense should not be in the top 5 this year. No excuses. No excuses. They should be top 5. But the most important ones, the most important Cowboy on defense this year, I put it in 2. Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith, because we have got to stop the run. If they don't do their job, then it's just gonna be a repeat of last year, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, we was in the top 10 in defense last year. It wasn't bad at all. I'm just saying to take it up to the next level where we start talking top 5, top 3. That's what I'm talking about, which is what I think we're going to be this year. And it's all going to be because of the big boys in the middle. Number 2. Now this going to sound, I ain't talking about, I'm not saying, I'm going to say this, but it's kind of cut a different way. The number 2 most important Cowboy on defense is Dan Quinn. Because he has one job, and he's trying to do it now. He has one job, and that is to make Micah Parsons as special as he could be. And so because of that, I'm saying that Dan Quinn is the second, because he's going to have to figure out a way to make Micah Parsons as potent as he could be. Line him up everywhere. Get him on the edge. Get him in the middle. He's just as dangerous in the middle as he is on the edge. He has to make this dude a defensive player of the year type guy, which Parsons obviously is capable of. He has to make this guy this year, because I believe that it's going to be, and for the obvious reason, which I'll get to in a little bit. Dan Quinn has to be. He's got to make it. He got to. Hey, if this was chess, Micah Parsons is the queen on the board. He's got to make that queen count. He's got to. And Quinn has done that. Quinn has done it. You know what I'm saying? He's that. He is that. Keystone, I see. Keystone saying mine is okay. Well, I'm coming to that. I'm just saying Dan Quinn, because not only forget that, he has to orchestrate the whole defense. And it's a lot of weapons on our defense. A lot of them. And Quinn, I have no doubt that Quinn is going to be able to do all this. No question. He's done it since he's been here. I want to see Parsons go to the next level. Now, Parsons is my number 3. And it's real simple. Parsons has to be that dude. And we all know who he is. That ain't even a question. We all know Micah Parsons is that dude. But I want to see that next level. Now, he's already taken it to the next level. We just got to see how he plays with it. And I'm talking about his weight. Just in case you don't know, Michael Parsons added on another 20 pounds. He's now going to be playing at 255. He was dominant when he was skinnier. Now he's going to be 255. Let's see if he's still that same guy, or he has even gotten better because he's gotten stronger. The speed is still there. Everybody say he's still running 4.3, so the speed is still there. Now can he take on blocks when he get, blocked in the run game and chipping something? Some of that stuff used to hurt him. Or at least, knick-knack injuries and stuff like that. Get swallowed up in the block where the extra pounds not gonna hurt. So he's gonna be playing at 255. So I got a feeling this year we may be seeing at least, and we really don't have a gigantic sample size, but I really believe Michael Parsons is gonna have his greatest year this year. He's my number 3. Quinn is my number 2. Jonathan Hankins, a combined Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith is my number 1. Number 4. It really is a toss-up, and I'm still debating it, even though as I look at my notes right here. I'm really debating. I don't even know what I want to say because I'm going to have to eliminate the other one. Number 4. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Number 4 is going to be Stephon Gilmore. And the reason why I'm saying Stephon Gilmore is more of a wish than talking about last year when he's with the Colts and all that. My wish is this. Please let us have one more or 2 good years with Gilmore. Because if we do, this defense will be top 3 defense in the league. Why am I saying that? Because offensive coordinators know that you can't really mess with Mr. Diggs. I don't care what y'all say. He led the most yards up and all that. You ain't gonna keep trying Trayvon Diggs. You're not gonna do that because you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen if you keep messing with Trayvon Diggs. It's gonna go the other way. It's just that simple. But this is what I'm saying. Gilmore will not be the defensive player of the year again. But can I just have the Pro Bowl Gilmore just from last year? You do realize that he made the Pro Bowl last year. Eastside hair while you flapping your mouth over there. You do realize Stephon Gilmore did make the Pro Bowl last year, right? You know why, right? Because he's pretty good. That's why. He made the Pro Bowl last year. If I can get just the Pro Bowl Gilmore on this team, top 3 defense, ain't no doubt. Because see, if he's the Pro Bowl Gilmore, there was a lot of years that a lot of teams said we can't throw the Stephon Gilmore side. And if you keep doing it, it's gonna go the other way too. See, he made the Pro Bowl last year because teams started trying him and he made them pay. He did. That's just the truth. That's why he's with the Colts. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback. There's a reason why he was a Pro Bowl cornerback. I'm sorry. There's a reason why. And if he's anything like that guy from the Colts last year, you don't believe it, just pull up his tape. You know I did it because I'm a Cowboys fan. I like to see what we're getting. He ain't lost too much. He lost all it. He ain't lost nothing. He's still fast. He's still physical. He still plays man-to-man coverage. He still does not require safety help. He still goes one-on-one. He still hits people. I don't know what nobody talking about. He don't need safety help. He don't. Go look at the tape from last year. I'm telling you what I saw this year. I ain't talking about the one from the Patriots. I'm talking about what I just saw from last year. He does not require safety help. He does not need safety over the top. He plays bump and run coverage. He goes one-on-one. He supports the run. He still hits people. Y'all don't believe me? Go look at the Indianapolis tape. Just pull it up. You'll see it for yourself. And you tell me, if I get that guy who's already better than Anthony Brown, let's go ahead and get that out the way. There's no question about that. If I get that guy to go alongside Diggs, if I get that guy, Eastside Harold, I wasn't even gonna recognize them, but I'm gonna put this up. This is why you just need to just mute your I don't know what you need to do. Just that last statement right there, it's just ridiculous. He just can't cover. What football have you been watching? I mean, there's never been a time Gilmore's been in the league that last statement right here, he can't cover. That don't go with Stephon Gilmore. So please don't show your obvious knowledge of football by making statements like that, please. But I'm trying to say, I mean, I appreciate you popping in, but just please, sir, just stop. He's going to make it difficult if Gilmore is Gilmore as an offensive coordinator. Who you gonna pick on? Okay, cause see, Diggs did give up a whole lot of yards because of his aggressiveness, biting on a route and getting a double move put on him. He got baked a couple times. Yes, he did. And Gilmore, of course, is very solid, technique-wise. Knows all the tricks, all that stuff, and is very effective. Okay, as an offensive coordinator, who are you gonna pick on? Who you picking on? Are you really gonna pick on Diggs because Gilmore's there, or are you gonna stay away from Diggs and go at Gilmore? So you got to make a decision how you're going to attack the passing game. You got to. You don't have no choice. You have to make a decision on who you're going to go at. So are you going to trust and say, well, Gilmore's older, we're going to go at, okay. That's why I'm saying it's not, I need Gilmore to be Gilmore. He ain't got to be the Patriots Gilmore. You don't have to be the player of the year, defensive player of the year. I don't need that. I just need him to be the Indianapolis Colts Gilmore from last year. That's all I need. If I get that guy, we finna have fun this year. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. I'm telling you the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Number 5. I guess I'll close with this. And this was a little close to me. I'm going to go with Sam Williams. yes, I'm going him past Diggs. A very close second to that. And I'm not saying who's the best players, y'all. I'm just saying these are the guys that's going to take this defense to another level. The next guy is Sam Williams. And the reason why I'm saying Sam Williams over Donovan Wilson, over Trayvon Diggs, over Javon Curse, all these guys, I ain't going linebackers. I'm saying Sam Williams because he really is a different type of dude. And what I mean by different is he can be a very serious problem for offenses. He can really be a serious problem. The kid is a defensive end, and he's fast like Parsons, running a 4.3 40. Y'all know if you watch his game film from last year, he is a problem. He's strong as an ox. He can wreck a game, run game. He can wreck quarterbacks. It just seems like he's always by the quarterback. He's there. I mean, he is a problem. If he takes the next step, last year was his rookie year. If he takes that year 2 jump that I think he's more than capable of, this defense has become a real problem. You're going to have Parsons sometime, Williams in the game, Marcus Lawrence in the game, maybe even Dorrance Armstrong. I mean, this is a serious NASCAR type package that's going to give folks a lot of problems if this dude do what I think he can do. He's the type of dude that can carry this defense up to another level. More of an impact, I believe, than Dante Fowler, perhaps. I believe he can have that type of impact. More than Dante Fowler. Fowler had a great year with us last year. I believe that. I believe that these type of guys are going to end up making this defense super. And we got the kind of coach that know what to do with it. And that's Dan Quinn. We got the kind of coach that know how to put all these pieces of the puzzle together to make it very difficult for all. I believe we're getting ready to see that this year. All right, I'm done. There you go. Those are the most important Cowboys heading into 2023. If you don't know what it was, if you missed part of the show, you can always go back once we end it. You'll hear what I said on offense and defense. For now, phone line is open. You can go ahead and call in and disagree with my statements, or you don't know, mine is not gold. You may have somebody else on your list. I'm not going to argue with it, but call in and you tell me what you think about who are the most important Cowboys heading into 2023. 901-654-6853 is right there on your ticker, right there. You see it float. 901-654-6853. Again, 901. Here we go. Call in.
Call from the Great East Side.
Oh,
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, I appreciate you, Coach Breelove. I see you there before we listened to Eastside Harold coming in. I already know. I just want to see how he's going to embarrass himself this time. Here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is again. Eastside Harold. What you got to say?
How you doing, sir?
We're doing the best we can. How you doing?
I'm all right. So did I hear you correctly? Did you say the defense was gonna be like NASCAR? Did you really say that? Did the words come from your mouth, or
Yeah.
maybe it was a glitch or something?
No, because
Oh,
if you know football, we say the NASCAR package when you put your fastest people in the game. That's really all I was saying. He said, whatever your definition is, I guarantee you it ain't mine. But go ahead.
oh man, Sam Williams had you believing that? Didn't how many sacks did Sam Williams have last year for you to give him this kind of a reputation that you're speaking of? Didn't he have like 4 or maybe 3 or 2, something like that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be wrong.
Yeah, you could be. You are wrong, and then you also got to
I mean,
say. You also got to say on that note, how many games did he miss because of injury?
man,
So you forgot about that.
I mean, the boy you putting on a pedestal, you think he played, he played like a Pro Bowler with the way you talking.
Well, that's the kind of ability that he does have.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he has that.
What's in that pink cup you got?
Yeah,
I saw you drinking that.
Yeah.
What's in that?
That don't worry about that. Just it's something that you can have. That you understand. That's all you need to know.
So I got another issue. Not to go off topic, it might not have nothing to do with you, man. I don't know if you heard, but your boy, Boss Cowboy. I know you do a little show with him or whatever sometime. You know Boss Cowboy, right?
You know I do. Go ahead.
I heard that man compare Deacon Dakota Prescott to the great Warren Moon. I've heard that blasphemy, and I was like, I wanted to jump through the screen. I was wondering, did you hear that? Do you compare that to Warren Moon, sir?
I mean, if you asking me if I had a choice of who the quarterback I would take Warren Moon. But if you,
you think?
No, I don't think.
You think?
I don't think I would. But let's just go with this since you brought that up. I mean, what did Warren Moon do?
Oh, sir, Warren Moon is a Hall of Famer, sir.
Yeah,
Warren Moon been to a top of championship, sir.
I got that, but let me ask you this question. And he is a Hall of Famer. That would mean he's one of the greatest of all time. Did he win?
Oh, sir, he got wins under his belt. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but hey, man, he did something. He got in that Hall of Fame, sir. You had to get it out the mud.
He's a great football player. We don't want to act like he's not. We know that, but what did he do? See, he didn't win nothing. So,
oh Lord, he didn't win nothing.
He didn't win.
He wasn't a great football player, sir.
I ain't say he wasn't a great football player. I just told you he was a great football player. I said he didn't win. Oh. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because that's what Dak Prescott hadn't done. He hadn't won.
No.
And it's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair to do them because they played a different game then. Warren threw the ball a lot, but not like these guys do. So when you compare the stats at this particular time in Dak's career to Warren Moon's career, it's probably going to be almost similar. It's going to be similar in stats at this point in time. After 7 years or whatever Dak got, 7 to 8 years, and you compare Warren 7 to 8 years, the stats probably going to be almost real close together. But you got to keep in mind it's a slightly different era, and they were not throwing the ball like they're throwing the ball like right now, even though Warren did throw it a whole lot. So that's where the comparison is. He probably on pace. They probably had the same amount of numbers, but it's just a different game now. So I can't really compare the two. But Warren Moon is a definite better quarterback than Dak Prescott. I'll give you that.
Oh man, I'm surprised you said that, sir. I'm surprised you said that, man. I can't believe you said that, sir.
I don't know why. I'm about straightforward. It's one of the most straightforward podcasts it is. I'm the one that say Dak Prescott don't play like a dime. I'm the one that do that. I'm not optimistic. I call it like it is. But once again, Eastside, you've come on here And as usual, you're not talking about nothing. So you just.
Oh, so I'm talking about plenty, sir. I'll be in these YouTube streets with you, and I just be hearing different topics, and some of the stuff that these people say, it just blows my mind.
Let me ask you this question, Harold. Let me ask you.
I'm listening.
Have you found a Houston, Texas podcast? Show yet?
Didn't I answer this question before?
Have you? Have you found one yet?
There's plenty of Houston podcasts.
Do you listen to them? Because it really ain't much to talk. Sir. It really ain't nothing much to talk about, to be honest with you. So when do you find time to listen to the Houston, Texas podcasters? Are there any? Matter of fact,
I'm in the YouTube streets like billions of other places. I go to sports. I go to
the reason what I'm saying, because you on every Cowboy podcast. I mean, you specialize.
Hey, sir, it's the internet, right?
Oh yeah, okay. All right. I'll let you have it. Because you have wasted my time again, Eastside. Thank you so much for your contributions and also your opinions about it. But I appreciate you and please get off my phone. Thank you, sir, for the time. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye. That's Eastside Harold. Going on. Exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying, when you get to that point. Now, I particularly was not listening to Boss Cowboy, my brother Boss, whatever. I had to hear what he said about the comparison. I don't know. But since I know him pretty well, I do believe that he probably was talking about after 7 or 8 years comparing the stats of Dak to where Warren was after 7 or 8 years. The difference to me is it was just a different era, more running back then to now. But because it's a passing league, Dak's numbers, I saw something. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Thank you, Eastside Hair. You made me go another whole different direction. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about, or what I saw. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let me see here. I gotta find it. I got to find it. There was you can call in if you want to. You can call in if you want to. I'm looking for something that I know I got in my phone that I don't have. Go ahead and say, I'm gonna read some of your stuff. Coach Bree Love, man, look. No, Coach, he got it most of in the CFL. Warren Moon would be the all-time leading passer if he wouldn't have went to the Canadian Football League, where he was great up there, and that's where he made his name. In the Canadian Football League, he's a Canadian Football League Hall of Famer as well, because he lit them up in Canada up as well. So he's a great quarterback, but he didn't win anything. And I thought that when it comes to the quarterback position, see how the goalpost east side move the goalpost. When he started talking about Dak, when I asked him did he win anything, but the first thing when you start talking about Dak Prescott, that's the first question they say: did he win anything? Yes, he won. What did East Side say when I say he won? He won a lot of games under his belt. Well, guess what? Dak got a lot of games under his belt. But the goalpost move when it comes to Dak, though. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, East Side. I ain't want to bust you out like that, but you just made it so obvious. See, when it comes to Dak, you want to say he ain't won this, he ain't won that. Then I asked you about Warren Moon. Did he win that? He won a lot of games under his belt. He's a Hall of Famer. See what I'm saying? I thought winning was the thing. That's what I thought. I can't find what I'm looking for. And I apologize. Well, yes, I can. There it is. Let me y'all give me a second. I'm gonna show y'all this. And just to show you, because it's going to shock some of y'all. It really is. It's going to shock some of y'all. What I'm getting ready to show y'all. And then and this is probably the reason why Boss would come up with whatever he said. This probably is the reason why you saw all that. I want to show y'all this. Y'all hold on just a second. Y'all don't leave, but this is going to blow some of y'all up. It really is. This is going to blow some of y'all brains. Like, I can't believe this. Because, see, Dak is so underrated. And I myself, have shot him down because, if y'all been following me for a while, y'all already know what I done said about him on throughout the years. I'm all in with him this year. But I want to show y'all this. Yeah. Yeah, I want to show y'all this. I want to show y'all this. And it might be a little blurred, so I read it to you. But I'm going to show you this. This is going to blow you up. Watch this, y'all. Here I come. Speaking of our quarterback, I want to show you guys this. Look at this. I'm probably going to have to blow that up some more. I want to show y'all this. And I'll read it just because it's about as big as I can put it. All right. So this is Dak after 7 seasons with and all the rest of these quarterbacks, all of them going to be in the Hall of Fame as the comparisons. Now, in fairness, I'm going to say really the one that we should be looking at probably is Drew Brees more than Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Tom, of course, early in his career with the Patriots when they were winning, they were pretty much a run the ball and play defense type team in his early, first couple Super Bowls. Ben had Jerome Bettis, Parker, he really didn't explode until the crazy numbers until Antonio Brown really got there. Not, Plaxico was pretty good, but he wasn't Antonio Brown. So I'm saying it was a lot of, it wasn't a lot of passing going on with that. Exactly. And Ben, of course, had a great defense, obviously. Back then, it was the Steelers and the Ravens defenses that were, 1 and 2 in the league and all that. So let's just go with that. But Drew, on the other hand, I think is a fair comparison after 7 years because Drew been throwing the ball ever since he came in the league. He was the offense. And so let's look at this. I don't know how well you guys see it, but if you can't see it, I'm going to read it. So after 7 years, Dak Prescott, who had a running back his whole career, who ran the ball, even with Ezekiel Elliott, even the young Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott has 2,185 completions. Drew Brees, with all the throwing he did, had 1,921 completions. Dak Prescott, this is just after 7 years, Dak Prescott has 24,943 yards, and that's with a running back. Drew Brees, who did not really have a running back, only had 21,189 yards. So Dak Prescott and Drew Brees threw nonstop. So, and now Drew did have a running back in his first couple of years because he had LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego. So I'm going to be fair to Drew on that. He had LaDainian Tomlinson. When he hit New Orleans, he was passing the ball nonstop. But 24,943 yards. Drew had 21,189 yards. Dak Prescott in 7 seasons has 166 touchdowns. Drew Brees has 134. Ben Roethlisberger in 7 seasons had 144 touchdowns. Tom Brady in his first year had 197 touchdowns, which is incredible. Dak Prescott in his 7 seasons, and really a lot of it, the biggest one was last year, had 65 interceptions. Drew Brees had 99 interceptions in 7 seasons. Ben Roethlisberger had 86 interceptions in 7 seasons. Tom Brady had 86 interceptions in 7 seasons. Dak only had 65. These are the stats. So when you hear Boss say something like that, Eastside, probably the reason why he's saying that is because, I don't know if Dak gonna play as long as Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger and definitely Brady, and be as good, as these guys were. But if he does, he gonna have Hall of Fame numbers. And so let's go back to your statement, Eastside. Warren Moon never won anything, but he had the numbers. And those numbers got him into the Hall of Fame. And Warren played for a very long time as well. But it wasn't that he had rings on his finger. It wasn't that he was all that kind, he didn't win anything. Never made a Super Bowl. But his numbers couldn't be denied. And so they had no choice but to put him into the Hall of Fame. Now, Ben played 20 years, I believe, something like that. Drew played over 20 years. Brady, of course, played 50 years. Warren played right at, I don't know how long he played. I may have to look that up. Let me look that up real quick. Warren Moon played from 1984 to 2000. That is 16 years. 16 years he played in the National Football League. I mean, hey, according to this meme here, now Eastside, if I know you quite well, you trying to figure out a way how you can kill this, but you can't, cause the numbers are the numbers. Demetrius, I see you. If Warren Moon had played the NFL his whole career, he would have so many records that would never be broken. He would be the all-time leading passer in history. If Moon would have never played the CFL, Canadian Football League, Warren Moon would be the all-time leading passer. Touchdowns, yards, completions, attempts, all that stuff. Tom Brady, in all these years that he played, would never be able to touch Warren Moon. If he could have played in the league, and I need to check out. Sorry, here I need to check out and see how long did he play. I wonder how long did he play in the CFL. Y'all looking it up before me, but I'm not even seeing your comment. I don't know how long he played in the CFL. Forgive me, I had to answer this. He's 6 years in the CFL. That's unbelievable. So combined, he played 20 years in the league. If Warren Moon would have been in the NFL for those 6 years, I mean, whoever you throw at, Brett Favre, whoever, they wouldn't be able to touch Warren. Nothing. So I'm not saying Warren is not a great player. I'm just saying going by the standards that y'all use for Dak. Like you just heard Eastside. He won a lot of games, but when it comes to Dak, did he win a Super Bowl? See how the goalpost just changed. But this right here, this little meme right here, as you can see, Dak is on a pretty good pace right now. I'm just saying. You do realize that and there's a lot of jury that's still out. There's a whole lot of games that got to be played for a lot of more years. But I will say this: there are plenty of guys that are in the Hall of Fame that hadn't won anything. They just had incredible numbers that got them a gold jacket. Now, I'm just saying, Eli Manning is one day going to be in the Hall of Fame. Eli Manning is. Eli Manning had a lot of bad years, though. I think he led the league in interceptions, I think 2 or 3 times. You see what I'm saying? He had, but Eli Manning got something that a lot of guys ain't got. He got 2 rings on his finger, and he has royalty in his last name as far as the NFL goes. That's going to get him in the Hall of Fame. Now, he may not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shoot, he may not even be a third ballot Hall of Famer. But one day, he going in. And he ain't going to have nowhere near the numbers. I go on record and say that right now. He ain't going to have nowhere near the numbers that Dak Prescott is going to have by the time he hit the same year that Eli Manning quit playing. It won't even be close. Michael Evans just brought up a name that we all know he was great. But he didn't win nothing. Dan Marino didn't win nothing. Dan Marino just made 1 Super Bowl, actually. 1. In his second year in the league. He made 1 Super Bowl. That was it. He didn't win nothing. Now, that don't mean that the man wasn't great. Oh, he was super great. Great quarterback. No doubt about it. But he didn't win nothing. So why did he get into the Hall of Fame? Because of his numbers. That's why. So numbers will get you into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. The list go on and on. And what I'm trying to tell you is Dak Prescott, who's routinely now getting you if he got a whole season, of course, he's routinely giving you 4,000 yards. Okay? You do the math. Let's just say he plays 16 years. Dak does. Let's just say Dak plays 14 years. And he's getting right at 4,000 yards over his career, the rest of his career. Well, we talking almost 50,000 yards now. Don't that get you into the Hall of Fame? Look, that was in his 7 seasons. Let's look. He got 166 touchdowns. What you think he gonna end up with? There's a possibility that he might get. There's a possibility he might go over 200 touchdowns this year. If he got 166 touchdowns so far in 7 seasons, that means he is only, let me see, 166, 4. He's only 40, 4? Forget my math, but let me see, 66. He's 30 some odd touchdowns away from 200. Shoot, he getting 30. He gonna get 30, 35 to 40 touchdowns this year. He could be over 200 at the end of the. Come on now. I mean, But see, because you're so blinded by this 1 year we had interceptions and this false narrative saying that he ain't good, you're acting like this dude ain't killing folks. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The one thing about it, you can say what you want, but some folks are so dug into the narrative saying he ain't good that they're actually shocked by a meme like this. They're actually shocked that this dude got these type numbers compared to these guys right here. And if you took the faces off and if you put up what Dak got and say, who is this quarterback that got this type of numbers in 7 seasons compared to them, no one would say it would be Dak Prescott. Nobody. Because you have lived into and I need to do a show about that. You have most haters and Cowboy fans have fallen into this narrative that has been produced by Stephen A. Smith, who is the godfather of Cowboy hate rhetoric. You have listened to this rhetoric so long, and then here comes Shannon on the back end. And you go listen to Sean McCoy, and you listen to all these Cowboy haters on. You listen to Joy Taylor, who says that I don't believe Dak Prescott is talented enough to make the team to the NFC Championship game. I don't believe he's talented enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the NFL. It takes talent to put these type of numbers up. It does. But you done fed into the narrative so much that you just believe that Dak Prescott is trash. Even to some of the point, some folks got Dak Prescott as the 8th or 9th, the 7th or 8th best quarterback in the NFC. In the NFC. Some folks got him lower than Kirk Cousins and got him lower than Matthew Stafford and all. And I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Okay. Look at the numbers. Y'all see it. See, one thing you can't do is argue with the actual numbers. See, you can argue with me about my theories and opinions and anything I say. You can say that. See, you can't argue with what you see on the screen right there. Because those are his actual stats. Can't argue with it. All you can say is kind of like with Eastside Harold right here. See, he's shocked right now to see that. He's shocked. Because he wouldn't even think that was Dak Prescott. He wouldn't there. He is shocked right now that Dak Prescott has these numbers in 7 years compared to these Hall of Fame type quarterbacks. Mike, you know what? You're right about that. But that's only when it comes to Dak Prescott. See, he threw the ball in the first quarter, he threw the ball in the second quarter, He had to throw the ball at the Cowboys. See right there. See what I'm saying? Right here. See, this is the guy right here. This is the narrative. Because, see, you heard that on ESPN. Garbage time stats. See what I'm saying? See, I'm going to do a show on Stephen A. And the reason why I'm going to do it I love Stephen A. Smith. I love Stephen A. But most haters are common repeats of what they have heard him say over the last 10 years or so. The man was on First Take before he became permanent. He would come on the show one time a week. And that Wednesday when he was with Skip Bayless on ESPN was the most watched shows during the week. And so ESPN made a smart decision. Man, this show, he'd be on fire. Good Lord. What would happen if we had him on TV every day? And because of the hatred that Stephen A., or the supposed hatred that Stephen A. Smith has for the Dallas Cowboys, it has put so much money in his pocket. His foundation ain't talking about the NBA. His foundation is the Cowboys, this, what can go wrong, will go wrong with the Cowboys. Just wait, America. Just wait. They're going to choke. That has carried him to probably one of the biggest contracts in ESPN history. He has done it. And a whole lot of you are following that rhetoric to the point where you can't recognize some of the true things that are the truth, such as this meme that you're looking at right now. So I ain't got to argue. The stats speak for itself. I don't have to argue. See, somebody gonna have to explain to me, if he's so sorry, why he doing this? And you got to keep in mind now, just to prove my point, he had a running back. He wasn't lining up throwing the ball 40 times a game. Dak Prescott had a running back. And he still put up these numbers? Really? Drew Brees ain't had a running back in 7 seasons since he left LaDainian Thompson. Drew Brees, when he got to New Orleans, threw the ball 40 to 50 times a game, and that was on purpose. A case could be made for Ben Roethlisberger in his first couple of years because they had the number 1 defense in the league and they ran the football a whole lot. But later, after Bettis left, after Parker left, and the defense started getting a little lower, Ben was throwing the ball like crazy too. When Antonio Brown first got there, they was throwing the ball nonstop. And even though he had the great Le'Veon Bell, Bell was catching the ball. Bell was having 100-year catches out of the backfield, man. Le'Veon was. Y'all remember that? For y'all that played fantasy football back when Le'Veon was in Pittsburgh, do y'all remember how potent Le'Veon Bell was? Ben was throwing the ball. I ain't got to say nothing about Brady. After the first couple of years, once he finally let it go, especially when he had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. Of course, when he had Moss that year, Brady was throwing the football like crazy. The first couple of years, no, because they were a defensive team. But I'm saying Dak Prescott has had a running back his whole career, and he has not had a number 1 type defense. And you gonna tell me that this little meme here is not impressive? Oh, and I ain't just the number 1 Dak fan. I mean, I like him. But you can't deny this. You can't deny it. If I took the face of Dak Prescott off and just had those stats up there, nobody would believe that that's Dak Prescott. Nobody.
Call from
Coach Marv.
to accept.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got my brother in. This Coach Marv now, so I don't know what he coming with, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and on the dance floor. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, Big Joe? Hey, man, I put a message in your comment, man. I want to elaborate on it, man. Those who control the media control the general thinking the most.
Yeah.
So, it's the big leather network who control most of the media of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They control the general thinking of most.
Yeah.
Without any evidence, without any research, they hear what they hear and they run with that because they say that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So when you investigate things, you find out that if you don't do your own research, you don't do your own studying, you do not understand. You go on an opinion of others, and they may be, and those opinions are sometimes pushed because those narratives bring attention, and they are going to push, even though they may not believe it themselves, but they're going to talk about what makes money. So, if you look at that list that you have right there on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't think people understand that Drew Brees won one Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And the year that he won the Super Bowl, they had a two-headed running back in New Orleans, and they were number 2 in the league in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense was in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that year that they won the Super Bowl. Other than that, they have not touched the Super Bowl again, because even though Drew Brees had great numbers, but if you look at the year they won the Super Bowl, it may have not been the greatest numbers that he had, but they had a balanced football team.
Yeah.
If you look at Ben Roethlisberger,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roethlisberger had one of the worst Super Bowls when they won the Super Bowl against Seattle that a quarterback can have in a Super Bowl game.
Horrible.
But they won the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Brady has won Super Bowls where he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass.
Mm-hmm.
He has won Super Bowls where the defense played great and shut down the great teams that had the greatest offense on turf. And their defense shut them down when you only had to score about 17 points to win a football game.
Exactly.
So these are the things when I keep trying to keep illustrating the point about teams win Super Bowls. But the narrative now that they're trying to promote is they're trying to promote that this is all on that.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the Cowboys ranking of other position groups, which we don't think is right, they give us lacking them other position groups, but then they say it's all on that. If you listen to a lot of the media, they say that the Cowboys are weak in this area, they're weak in that area, but it's all on that. It's strange to me that we don't understand as a Cowboy nation that this is this propaganda to try to get to the point of they want failure to boost it up so they can have failure and they can have a storyline.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, I go back all the way back to Roger Staubach. People don't understand, man. Roger Staubach was destroyed every year that they tried to get to the Super Bowl, they couldn't win it. Man, people were talking trash about Roger Staubach, saying he can do all this, but he can't win the big one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they wanted to run Troy Aikman out of town after they went 1-15, saying that he was a bust.
Yep. They said that.
I remember when Jerry Johnson left and the Dallas Cowboys team started to go down in talent, and Troy Aikman started having subpar years. They were like, man, get rid of him. He's not worth it. But again, when you don't have the surrounding team and the surrounding organization and the whole thing's not put together, great players are starting to look average. Mm-hmm. I have said this before. If you don't have a great player, regardless of what sport, if he doesn't have an identity, he doesn't have a structure with someone that can motivate and get the best out of him and put him or her in the best situation for them to be successful and surround them with the people that complement their talent. Mm-hmm. They will be good, but they will never be great.
Exactly.
You put those things around a player. You put those things around a player. He goes from being a very good player to legendary.
Mm-hmm. Quickly.
So that's what as a Cowboy Nation, where we need to be focused on. It's a lot of stuff out there. They want to, and what I'm scared of is that, and I hope McCarthy gets us in and drills us into the team. That means that, and he said he needs to drill this team that if we're not successful, it's not on one person. It's all of us that have to be successful and do our job for us to win a Super Bowl. Because if we say, oh man, if we get better quarterback play, we would have win.
Yeah.
Football is one sport you just can't say, oh, if we get one person to play better, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Too many moving parts in there. And when you look at the stats, yes, there are great quarterbacks that have done great things in this league, but never been in the right situation to be successful. And there has been very mediocre quarterbacks like the Mark Griffin, the Trent Dilfer, the Johnson for the Tampa Bay that have went on and Super Bowls or played in Super Bowls, and they were just in the right situation at the right time, and they did their job. But the overall team together got them to that point. Yep. So I don't even listen to all that crazy stuff about and you can't compare quarterbacks to each other.
Different eras.
When you different eras, and when you look at Ben Roethlisberger, you know, Cowboy fans and Pittsburgh fans go at it all the time. And some of my better friends are Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And I remember this show. I remember when Ben Roethlisberger, about 10 years, maybe about the last 6-7 years of his NFL career, he said that this is the new Pittsburgh Steelers. We no longer depend on the run game. This is the new Pittsburgh Steelers. And ever since he made that statement and they went away from their identity of an organization, which is a top-ranked defense, being able to be physical and run the ball and striking the passing game, they never did for another Super Bowl after he made that statement.
Yep.
We have to understand the identity of this organization. I heard Dak Prescott talk about identity in his last interview, and I've been preaching about identity for a long time. And the identity, it goes like this: one mentality, one tempo, one identity. And if this young team can set a tempo of the identity that makes their players great and what they perform well at, and they know themselves, that will not be Patrick Mahomes. He will be the best representation of what he does, and he will do it at an ultimate level, and he will be successful. But if we try to make him something else, he may be good, but he might not be always successful.
I agree, and let me add just one more statement to what you just said. If he could just be the best for this team, just this team, whatever the numbers are, but if the numbers are highly elevated for this team and that's what's needed, that's great. But if he doesn't have the gigantic numbers, that wasn't needed for this particular team. So if we compare, he'll never be compared to a comparison to Mahomes or Herbert, who's gonna throw the ball 50 times a game. That ain't what we want anyway. He just need to be the best player for this team. When the moment comes, answer the bell. That's all we need him to do. It's just that simple.
Got to put guys I think a lot of this comes because the Cowboys are a very high profile organization, and our ownership promotes them every year as a over the top promotion, and that's a sometimes that puts spotlights and criticism on you that you get more criticism and spotlight.
Yeah.
But to win, young team gonna understand, and that's why I just can't wait for training camp. That they're gonna understand that this is gonna be the hardest thing for a group team to do, and that's in any area of sport football when you do this. I don't care what level of football you're playing. The hardest thing is to get a group of people focused and everybody doing their part and being the best of their part to win collectively a championship. So it starts here. We got this. We have the things in the cupboard. I think we've been scrutinizing it and saying what we need, this and that. But we got enough in the cupboard. Now we just have to go and put a team together, and they have to be fully focused on all the adversity and all the spotlight, because every game that this team plays, from preseason game 1 to the last game, hopefully in February, they're going to get every team ultimate attention, and they're going to get everything that team has at them. So details and efficiency and imposing, knowing your identity, and being able to impose your identity on other teams, imposing your will, will be the best road to success. And if they're that type of team, I think they'll be mentally tough. I think they have enough physically talented guys, and this year could be very special. But let everybody talk about the Dak Prescott thing. It all comes down to play, and should tell you, Big Show, if Dak wins the Super Bowl, this is not going to stop. It's just going. They're just waiting for the next year to come for him to throw an interception for a touchdown, and they're so can't win with
folks.
He's not going to
with folks that are dedicated. You can't win with folks that are dedicated to hate automatically. So
yeah, dedicated. Yeah, they dedicated to make money.
Y'all are gonna find out. Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you, Coach. Say it again.
I'll tell you one other thing. This is not only going to be on that. This same hate going to come with Michael Parsons later on. The same thing going to come with Lamb when he get paid. That's just how it goes.
You're right about that, Coach. Man, I appreciate you as always. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, bro.
All right, man. That was a great Coach Marr. Always saying what needs to be said. I'm done, y'all. That's it. I ain't doing no other call. I've been on here an hour and 52 minutes. that's long enough. I appreciate everybody that called in. Appreciate those of you that were in the chat for this whole time. I appreciate Talib and Eastside with the super chats. Thank you so much for giving me that. I am going to leave you now. I will see you guys where I'm scheduled. Hey, Jory, I'm scheduled for Saturday at 3:00, but I may come on before then. So just turn on those live notifications wherever you're watching me from, and then just be ready. It may come in the morning. It may come in the evening time, but just be ready. And if you can't watch me live, then you know you can always check out the replay. All right, Jeffrey Murray already doing it for me. All right, I need some more people in the chat line to go ahead and get those clap emojis going. Y'all know how I end my show. We leave out grooving. Some folks just like to listen to my music. I'm serious, because it's jamming. You know, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I need one more person. Go ahead and give me some clap emojis, and then we'll get out of here. I'll see you guys on definitely scheduled for Saturday at 3, but stay tuned. May come to you before then. All right. I'm serious. I need to do a show on Stephen A. Smith. Not derogatory toward the brother, because I love him, love his work. But he is the godfather of recent years of the reason why a lot of the narratives are what they are. It really is that simple. Appreciate you, Mike. I see it. We can go and get out of here. All right. I gave you who I think is the most important Cowboys. If you're watching this replay, you can find somebody else. Go ahead and put it in the chat line and in your comments, and I will get to them and see them. All right. Until then, or the next time that I see you, I appreciate all of you. I'm out of here. This has been the Big Time Show. Put your hands on it. Let's go.